Hey there, folks. Happy Saturday. I want to welcome you here to a very, very special call. I appreciate you taking the time to come out and join us today. The line here, or I guess the room, is filling up quickly. So we must have done a decent job. I'm sorry for the short notice, number one. I know we didn't get this out, but like 3 or 4 hour notice. So I do apologize for that. But as you're jumping on here, please come out. I'd love to welcome you to the call. I'm not going to spend a lot of time here today, but it's definitely going to be what I feel is probably the most important message that we've had here as a company. So I'm excited to do it. So David, welcome from Vegas. Brent from Michigan, welcome. Edgardo from Vegas. Al from Toronto, welcome. Mike from Milwaukee. Gary from North Carolina. Barlos from Columbia, welcome. Gary from Tahoe, welcome. Dean from Oregon. Let's see here. Paul from Canada. We've got Mario from Cleveland. Donnie from Dominican Republic, I believe. We got Neil from Australia. Let's see here. Merlin from Michigan. Torsten, I might have butchered that, from Denmark. Welcome, though. Fernando from Topeka. Welcome. We got Bruce from Tampa, Jim from Seattle, Dane from Orlando. We got Bulgaria in the house, Chris from Texas, Craig from New York, Mark from Texas, Jack from Denver, Joel from Texas, Shane from Michigan, Turby from San Diego, Steve from Seattle. As you can see, we have a bunch of people here today, right? So listen, I want to welcome you. If I didn't have a chance to call out your name, I do apologize. As you can see, we have a full room today, and the number is still going up. So I'm excited about that because, this message I'm going to be sharing with you here today, number one, I believe, as I said, it's probably the most important message that I've had an opportunity to share with you, number one. And number two, I want to make sure that you hear it from me, right? I mean, we're definitely recording this. We're going to send it out. You can share it with your team members. But as I said on the email, I know it's Saturday, but I wanted to invite you out here to really clear the slate, right? As you guys know, I mean, in this industry especially, the rumor mill, I mean, it flies, right? I mean, it just goes on and on. It's like REO Speedwagon says, the tail gets taller on down the line. Maybe showing my age there a little bit for REO Speedwagon fans. But the bottom line is that, if you don't communicate properly as an owner, if you don't communicate properly as a leader, people start to make their own, suspicions of what's really going on, right? So what I want to do here today is I want to come out and I want to talk about where we're at right now as a company. I want to talk about some amazing things that we're doing as a company. And I really just want to clear the air so you have complete clarity on exactly where we're at, and the rumor mill can stop because you're obviously hearing it from the horse's mouth. Now, as many of you know, we've talked a little bit about this. Some of you actually received letters. As a company, we worked really hard to do everything that we possibly could to make sure that this company lasts the test of time. You've heard me talk about it many different times, that I was going to do whatever it takes, and that still holds true here today. But I have to come clean on a few things here today and just be completely transparent, completely honest with everything that's going on in our company. One of the things that I've mentioned over the past, I guess probably last month, is I talked about, as a company, under my watch, right, under my time, under my CO, I have watched some things happen inside of our company that I didn't take quick enough action on. One of those things, when we were very first starting our company, we made some deals out there. We allowed some leaders to come into our company. We allowed very special deals. And, what ended up happening as a company is it got us in a hole of about $10 million is what it's actually equaled out to. And that came from, basically trying to get this company going, trying to get it started, trying to do the things to get people excited about what's going on. And in turn, it put us in a situation that all of a sudden we were focusing on all of these people that might be considered leaders, or maybe, big guys in the industry, or ladies in the industry, right? And what happened is it put us in a situation where it started to hurt a lot of different areas. And, I don't talk about this much, but, I'm just going to give you kind of an analogy. My dad was a Vietnam veteran, okay? And one of the things that he did in Vietnam is he was in the infantry. So he was literally on the front lines of getting out there and fighting for our country, which, obviously I'm in the US. And one of the biggest things that he told me, and he wouldn't even talk about the war up until just a few years ago. And one of the things that he talked about was the fact that he lost so many people in that war, not to being shot, right? Not to being blown up by a grenade or anything like that. But a lot of the people that he lost in his platoon were due to the fact that they weren't doing what they were supposed to do on one little area, and that was taking care of their feet. Now, as silly as that sounds, he said that they used to take their socks and they would put them close to their body. Obviously, they couldn't dry it. It was raining all the time, so they would put it close to their body and it would dry their socks out, right? Or at least it would make them more dry. Well, what he told me is that even though they pounded that in your head and they, people talked about it on a regular basis, there were people that did not pay attention to that one little thing. So they avoided the bullets, right? They avoided the grenades, they avoided the ambushes, but the one little thing that hurt them was the thing that was right in front of their face. And as a company and as a CEO, I saw early on that there were some challenges with these free accounts. I saw that there were some challenges with these special deals that were out there. And in the way of making it want to work, to keep the momentum, to keep things going, to keep people happy, I didn't do what I should have done. And that should have been to stop the leak almost immediately. So what started to happen is we started to have issues with, our sports wagering, which was a huge thing. I say issues. What I mean by that is, where we were taking some of the money to support some of these free accounts and do some of these things, that small little leak that I wasn't paying close attention to, it started to get bigger. So it started to hurt some other things. So as a company, as a CEO, I have to come clean on the fact that I didn't do the best job of maintaining that, right? I was too busy with trying to grow this company and looking at the macro, that the small little details of what were out there and what was truly leaking the company began to hurt us, right? And it caused a lot of issues inside of our company. We sent out letters, as you probably know, to some of the people that were in that category. We asked very clearly that, hey, we've done our part as a company. We would ask you to come back and help us now as well. And you would be shocked how many people did not want to do that, right? I mean, who wants to give Bitcoin to a company? Because oftentimes people see it as, hey, I brought you this, or I did this for you. The bottom line is, in a company like ours, it's not like a product that we can give away, right? It requires people to do their part in order for us to do their part. You see, I created a plan, and I'm definitely not patting anyone on the back, especially myself, because we're having this call. But we created a plan here that will absolutely last the test of time. The math behind what we do, it absolutely works, right? The products and services that we have, we all know that they're phenomenal, right? We all know that. But the one little leak that we didn't take care of is one thing that we've been dealing with right this very second. And so you guys know since January, right? Since the beginning of January, let's just be completely transparent and honest. There's been many times where either the payments have not been consistent, or there would be a few days missed, or whatever the situation would be. Now, during that time, obviously we made some changes to our comp plan. We enhanced it, and I think it's phenomenal. I think we did a great job at being able to do that. But we also set ourselves into another situation where we pay 7 days a week, right? Our programmers, and the way that things work inside of our company, it's a 7-day-a-week thing. So we didn't allow the time necessary in order to make those changes. And I know that many of you have actually been able to see that, right? So we've had a lot of issues. I'm going to talk about those. When I say issues, we've had a little bit of a mess, right? Because see, what happened is we created these amazing enhancements. We gave it to our programming team and we said, get it done, right? Get it done. And the facts are this: if you can't take a system offline, if you can't work on it without causing chaos in this industry, it creates challenges. Now, many of you know, because you've heard me talk about this, one little hiccup in this industry and all of a sudden the rumors fly, right? It's just why we're on here. I mean, I came out here, I think about a week and a half ago, and I said, look, from this day forward, this is what we're going to be doing. And even though we did what we said we were going to do, the things just kept piling up, right? We kept getting the support tickets. We kept people telling us, hey, you're not paying. We just couldn't figure it out, right? So we've worked really hard with the programming team to get there. But here's the deal, okay? My objective here today is to show you that not only am I here, right? We've talked about that. I'm here, right? I'm in front of you. And I'm going to be the guy that will fight that inch for you. I promise you that. I'm going to be the guy that will die, right? The one that will be willing to die in a fight is the one that's going to win the fight. So you have the right guy from that perspective. That is me. I'm here for you. And, we have a choice here today as a company that we can come together as a team and you guys can see this through with me. Or, we can become another statistic. I'm choosing the first, right? I know what we're capable of. I know what our system can do. So what I want to talk about right now are the things that I'm setting into place to make sure that we can never, ever again have to go through some of these things. And as I've said many times, sometimes you have to take a step back in order to take a step far further. And I take full responsibility, like 100% responsibility, that I should have stopped that leak quicker, right? I had no idea. I mean, I saw it, but I had no idea the damage it could possibly create for our company for doing that, for people not wanting to do their part as well, right? I had no idea. But here I am today. I'm taking responsibility for that because I'm the CEO of the company. I'm the owner of the company. And my goal right now is to get us to a place where we can move forward. So that's what I want to talk about here today, the things that are in place that we can make sure to move forward. Starting with number one, we have already been working with investors that we are securing here to be able to move forward to get us to the place that we want to be, to make sure that, hey, every single time you log into your account, the payment's there, right? Every single time you log into our account, the programming is there. All those things that are in place are definitely there. That would be the number one goal for you. So we've already done that, right? Because when people look at our company, they can see the value in it, right? They can see the value in our products. They can see the plan actually works mathematically long term. So we just have to move forward out of this. And we've already began to work on that. So I'm excited to be able to do that. Also, the key thing here today is I'm going to make a commitment to each and every one of you that are here today. You know, for me, my philosophy has always been, and maybe I drifted away from that if we're being a little bit honest, my philosophy's always been about the little guy. It's about helping the people out that make the company run. And, you know, there's not a few people at the top that make a company run. The masses are who makes the company run. So I'm going to make a commitment to you here today that moving forward, that my decisions as a CEO and anyone else who's in our company that's helping me move forward here, our direction is going to be about the little guy, right? It's going to be about the masses. It's going to be making sure that we take care of the people inside of our company, not just a few, because the only way that we can move forward is to be able to do that. And the only way that we can do that is if you trust, right? If you trust what I'm saying, if you trust the direction that we're going as a company, that's the only way that we can move forward. And that's why I'm here today to talk about this many things. Now, in lieu of everything that I spoke about, and you know, with the struggle of the debt that we had, with the challenges of the programming team not being able to get done what they need to get done because of obviously the system never shuts down. Here's what we're going to be doing going forward, okay? As we have secured these investors moving forward, for the next few days, so Wednesday at the latest on Friday, I'm going to be shutting the payment system down. Now, I know at first glance, you guys are like, what are you even talking about? That's what we're going to do. And here's the reason why. There's no way as a company we're going to be able to get to where we need to be if I cannot have the system working the way that it wants to. You see, because I did what I said I was going to do last Tuesday. I said this day going forward, and we were making those payments exactly the way we should. But guess what? I had more feedback in the last week that we're not paying people than I've ever had in the entire time we've been in business. And what's insane about it is we were paying people. But the facts is that we had created a mess inside of our system, our programming team. Again, that's on my watch. I have to take responsibility for that. I can't sit there and point my fingers at my programmers and say, you guys didn't do your job. I gave them a task that was nearly impossible. I gave them a task to work on a system that never shuts down. Here's a payment system that never shuts down. It's 7 days a week. Go ahead and create a whole new compensation plan on it. And by the way, let's not miss any payments during that time. Folks, it's not realistic. It's absolutely not realistic. So what I'm telling you here today is that from now until Wednesday to Friday at the latest, I'm going to be shutting the payment system down. I know a lot of you won't want to hear that, but that's okay, because if you hold with me for a second, I'm going to tell you why we're doing it. Now, I also want to tell you that, look, just because the payment system is shut down has nothing to do with our auctions. It has nothing to do with our games of the week. We will continue to push forward through those, okay? And we will continue to offer, obviously, the Range Rover, which is an amazing thing. We're going to continue to have auctions up there every single day. We'll continue with our games of the week because those are our products, and we will continue to move forward from that. But what I'm asking you for, what I just said is we can either come together as a company, right? Or we can all die and we can all move on and think of GCN as another statistic. I refuse. Me personally, I refuse to do that. And I'm asking you as well to refuse to do that, because hopefully if you're here today, right? I know some of you came here today to say, hey, I can't wait to hear James to see what he says about what's going on with my account, right? There's been accounts that haven't been paid. There's some of you that are here today saying, hey, I can't wait to hear what's going on. And I get it, okay? But here's what we have to do as a company in order to move forward. I have to have these programmers to be able to have time to complete 100% of what's going on in our system. They cannot do it. They've proven they cannot do it with it continuing. And I'm not blaming them. I'm taking responsibility for that because I feel like I gave them a task that just wasn't where it needed to be. So here we are. We're where we need to be. We have to back up a little bit in order to move forward. So I just want to be clear here. The payment system will be shut down from Wednesday at the maximum to Friday. As we gear up, we have our investors ready, we have our programming team ready, and we can move forward and launch this thing going forward. So here's the key thing, you know, there's some other things that I want to tell you that what these things that we're doing, these decisions, these tough decisions that we're making that I'm having to make as a company owner are going to do for you going forward, okay? Because that's what's most important. You know, we can make the decisions, but what's it gonna do? Are we gonna have to do it again? There's some key things that I've put in place that are going to help us going forward and move us to the direction that we want to be. Number one, these decisions that we're talking about as far as the funding, the investments, the things of that nature, we're going to make it to where every single time you log into your back office, you're not going to have to sit there and wonder, is my payment going to be there? Did the system work correctly? I love this company, but you know, I think James does good webinars, but right, they're not paying, right? And we can't have that out in the industry. We can't. This is too small of an industry for people to be able to grasp onto that, okay? So just know that that's the number one thing. I want to make it to where every single time you log in, just like automatic, just like the sun coming up every single day, you know one thing that GCN is going to do is they're going to pay on time, and I'm going to be there. I think we would all agree that that is number one in this industry. That is something that's going to take us to where we're going to be. Obviously, we're going to continue to have new enhancements to our products. We talked about some of that, you know, some of the importance of that moving forward as a company. And one of the other things that I talked about in the email, as you probably know, is I talked about the infrastructure of our company. You know, I have conversations with a lot of people every single day, and a lot of the conversations are, James, how are you doing this? It looks like you're doing so much. Look, I mean, I am only one man, but I'm committed to this, and I'm committed to the process in which we have. But the reality is, I have to have some help. So there's some key things that are going to be happening inside of this company. First, I do want to give props out to our customer support, okay? One thing that you guys don't realize is they've been waking up to about 500 new support tickets every single day, 500. And they've done an amazing job at working through some of the challenges that they can't control. They can't control if our system worked correctly or not. They just simply can't, right? But they've done an amazing job, and I want to thank them personally for everything that they've done and the heat that they've taken. There's many of you that have submitted support tickets one after another, and they're just bogging down, okay? So I'm going to ask you, you can submit one, don't submit 1,000 of them, right? Because it hurts us. But going forward, we're beefing up our support system, okay? We're going to be adding even more agents. Number two, I'm creating a project management team that's going to help us be able to drive this the direction that we're going to go, okay? They can help us with the product development. They can help us with all of our events. They can help us with many of the technical things that I personally deal with. So there will be a project management team in place to help point us in the direction that we want to go. I think you would all agree that we all have different gifts and talents, right? There's some things that we're really good at. There's some things that we're not very good at. And even as a CEO, I have to recognize the things that, hey, I'm just not that good at. There's some things that I'm wonderful at least in my mind, right? And there's some things I'm average at, but there's some things that just aren't my lane. I'm not the best at it. So one major important thing that we're going to be doing as a company is we're going to be hiring a new president to come into our company, an intern president to help us get this company where we want to be, okay? And the thing with that is that we're already in the interview process. I hope to introduce this, this individual to you by Friday at the very latest. As a new president. And what that's going to do for me is it's going to allow me to be in the lane that I want to be in. But the person that's going to be coming in and helping me is definitely going to be able to point us in a direction to help us in some of the areas that we're weak in, and to be able to encompass this and really create an amazing management team for you to move this company forward into the future. So, you know, I really appreciate you taking the time to come out here. I'm gonna read through some of these, okay? I know that some of you will be coming at me hard, and that's okay. It's all right, right? Because we can address this. I see many of you that are talking about our support team. I really want to say thank you. You know, you're giving them compliments as well. Brent, thank you very much. Let's see here. let's see here. Every time you shut down, you keep our BTC. We seem to be investors. So I'm going to address this, George. I appreciate where you're coming from, and I understand your frustration. I truly do. If we were looking to leave with anyone's BTC, I wouldn't be doing a webinar on a Saturday afternoon. I would be chilling with my family in another room, right? So the bottom line is that's not our intention. We have no intention of doing that. Our intention is to be here long term. And in order for us to do that, I had to come out here today and had to do a really uncomfortable conversation with you and be honest with the challenges and the decisions I've made. I had to take responsibility for that. So that's where we're at. So I appreciate that. I appreciate where you're coming from, George. I really do. Let's see here, Gary. I agree that you should stop payouts temporary as long as Friday to keep the payments external wallets the day offered. Okay. So Gary, thank you for that. I definitely appreciate where you're coming from. Shane, thank you for saying that you're definitely with us. Marie is incredible, right? I have to give Marie props. Let's see here, Dane, you're talking about being owed something that's 2 weeks old. You sent support tickets. I don't know if you've heard, as I said, I mean, they're getting like 500 tickets a day. So please don't think we're ignoring you. If people are sending multiple tickets, I would just ask that, you give them a break, just send one, let us clear it out and let us work with you. Okay. Our intention is to help you here. It truly is. It's to take this project to the next level. Okay. Dr. Zizi, thank you so much. This is too big of a project. Oh shoot, I missed it. He said, this is too big of a project. And even 12 days to make sure that we have enough time to move forward. Dr. Zizi, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Armando, we can't wait. Confidence in the company. Hello from Mexico. Oh, Armando, thank you so much. We're ready to blow up Latin America as well. Ed, I agree to stop payments to ensure 100% flawless in our payout system. Thank you, Ed. No, I appreciate that. Brent, you're right, man. All companies, all great companies. You look at any major company that ever made it, it wasn't sunshine and roses all the time. The goal is to be able to look back on this and say, man, I remember those times. We made it through. And the one thing that I hope that you get from this is that I know there's a lot of companies to choose from. We choose to hopefully be different than a lot, right? There's nothing wrong with any other companies, but we choose to be out in front of this and be involved in it. And it's just it can't just be me going forward. As I said, my idea to build an infrastructure around us is so important. It's so important. And I think that you guys will, whoever we choose for that president, I know that it's going to be someone that can come in and assist me and allow me to do what I do best and have the vision of this company go exactly where I want it to go. Let's see here. Shut down for Wednesday to Friday or from Wednesday. So that's a good question. David was asking, are you saying you're shutting it down from Wednesday to Friday? No, what I'm saying is going like right now, we're going to shut the payment system down tonight. Okay. And it could be till Wednesday till Friday at the very latest to be able to get things exactly where we need it. But I have to have this thing 100%. I mean, and you guys do too, by the way. Many of you know, because many of you have been receiving payments but you're still getting emails from everyone or messages saying, hey, I didn't receive a payment. We can't have it like that. It can't be both ways, right? Because here I am thinking things are amazing. And what I don't know is that they're not, because there's people that are not getting paid because, the mess that was created by me. So yes, we're getting a lot of comments on Marie. Now I like to give Marie a hard time, so I don't want to see any more compliments for her. I think she's gotten enough. I'm just kidding. No, she saves me a lot, so I appreciate that. She does an amazing. Hey Gary, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. No such thing as a smooth mountain. Thank you, Gossett. That's very nice of you. Let's see, Mark, you started to email about your account since you started and didn't know if you'd received the cab. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you talking about our support. I know I'm not reading all these. I'm kind of paraphrasing some of these, but we have a lot that's coming in here. And I want to make sure that I can address as many of you as I can, even the tough ones. Even if you want to come out and bash me a little bit, that's okay. James, so the system is being developed to provide appropriate downtime to set clear expectations. So Bob, I want to answer Bob's question because I think this is a phenomenal question. There's like 30 below here, so I don't know I'm going to get to all of them, but I want to address Bob's question. Bob said, James, are there things in place that's going to allow us going forward if there's changes to make place that we can have downtimes? One thing that we're definitely going to be doing going forward is there might be specific holidays or days of the week that we give you a heads up that, hey, this holiday, we will be doing updates to our system. Don't expect a payment today. Okay, that doesn't mean that we're not going to pay. You know, if you had like a big day in your binary or something like that, it doesn't mean that we're not going to pay it. What it means is that we will have days going forward, so we don't get ourselves in the same little mess. I think we would probably all agree that removing you know, the opportunity to earn like you have is not the best thing. The best thing is to be patient with us and allow us, hey, if we need a weekend or if we need a holiday to be able to do something, that you accept it and understand that, hey, they're not going out of business. It's just the way it is. Okay. Let me see here. I know a lot of these are kind of the same, but I'm reading here. We got a lot of compliments for Jessica as well. So our support team's doing good. Dr. Zizi, thank you so much. I appreciate you believing in us. Mike Messmer, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Look, we're getting a lot of compliments on the support, which is awesome. It's going to get even better as we add people. Let's see here. Yeah, so here's a question about like GOWs and auctions. As I said, the auctions and the GOWs will continue here. Our entire payment system is going to be shut down, but some of those will be able to manually kick out as far as the GOWs are concerned. We don't want to stop them. I mean, I think everybody would agree. I mean, I think we're 20 of the last 25. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we're 19 of the last 25. I can't even remember. Maybe one of you all know. I don't care. Either one of them, I'll take it. I'm so proud of our handicappers. I mean, we have an amazing opportunity here that I don't even know some of you even realize. If you're not participating in the games of the week, I can't imagine why you wouldn't be. Let's see here. Okay, let's see here. Hey Gary, thank you so much for that offer regarding the software. We might reach out to you. We might have to. Thank you, Maurice. I definitely appreciate that, saying that we've exhibited quality leadership. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, this was not an easy call. I got a lot of you saying that, to have the guts or the courage. I didn't want to do this. It would have been a lot easier sitting in there, you know, just hanging out. But the reality is, you know, we have to make this thing happen, is the bottom line, and we're going to. Let's see here. Oh, wow, Bob. Okay, thank you. Looks like, you see, you know, here's what's amazing about our community, I feel. I mean, I'm reading through these and we have so many people that are talking about, hey, James, you know, I have this experience in this area. We have IT experience in this area. If there's something we can do for you. And whether it happens or not, the bottom line is, you know, what that shows me is that you guys can see what we're doing. You can see the vision of where we're going here, and you believe enough to help us move forward. And that, I'm telling you, man, that gets me like almost teared up, because I truly appreciate that more than you know. I've got 58 comments under here. I don't know if I'm going to get them all, but let me kind of go through here. Okay. I'm just reading through here, guys, because a lot of these are the same exact one. Yeah, one thing, Chris Sosa just made a comment here, and I will go ahead and offer this with no problem. Chris had mentioned, he says, how about for GOWs, will we be willing to give credits for GOWs? The answer is yes. I mean, absolutely. In fact, you know, we can add the credits to your purchased amount, and you can use those for the auctions or anything you would like. I think that's a great suggestion. If anyone wants to do that, your GOW credits, if you'd like us to move them to the purchase credits for you so you can use them on auctions or other GOWs, let us know. We'd be more than happy to do that. I think that's a great suggestion. Okay. All right, so I've went through a ton of these. You know, it's been 30 minutes. I want to close with this. I feel like growing up in the church, I'd like to close with this today. No, I really would like to close with this today. You know, this has been an amazing journey, right? Almost 8 months into this. It's been awesome, and had a chance to meet people that are so new to my life that, you know, it's been amazing. That's just the bottom line. I mean, I know I've said that word 3 times. I'm trying to think of a word that could encompass it better. But we've created a family here, you know, an opportunity. And I know we've also created some haters, right? And we're going to. The bottom line is we're going to. There's going to be people that hate us. And that's okay, because, you know, that's just the way business is. And as you grow and as things happen, we will attract some more amazing people. You know, the one thing that I've said many times, we haven't even began to really break in to some of these countries that we're going to. I look behind me, I see Asia right there. We're going to Asia. We're going to every country in Asia. We're hitting Latin America. We are about to blow this thing up. And I can't do it without you. I need you here. Obviously, you know, you're our team members, you're our leaders. And I'm glad that I can come out and have a conversation with you. As hard as it is, I mean, it's not fun to have this conversation. As hard as it is, I know the direction that we're going. And I just want to say thank you. I truly do. From the bottom of my heart, from our entire staff, thank you for making this an amazing experience for us. And not just that, creating a foundation that can lead us into the future, right? With so many companies having so many challenges, a lot of times it's easier just to run away. I refuse to do that. I refuse to do that. Regardless of what mistakes I made on my watch, I'm coming clean to those. I'm very transparent with those. I don't always, I mean, my wife would tell you I don't always, but I want to accept my responsibility, and I want to move in a direction and surround myself with the very best people that I can possibly have around me to help move this company to the next level. And that's what we're going to do. So as we move into the next week, you'll continue to see some amazing auctions. You'll continue to see some great GOWs. You'll continue to see me create an infrastructure here that I can surround myself with fantastic people, people that can truly help us get to where we want to be. And I look forward to coming to a place near you very soon. Whoever wins the Range Rover, number one, I'm coming to you. But number two, I look forward to really blowing up our events in 2020. That's what I want to focus on. I want to focus on the vision and the culture and the community that we have here, so we can just create an unbelievable place that, regardless of what our products are, regardless of what our services are, regardless of what our comp plan is, people want to be part of what we have going on because of the culture that we created. Thank you so much for taking the time with me on a Saturday. I appreciate your patience, all the kind comments were very, very, appreciated on my side. I knew this wouldn't be easy, but I knew it had to happen. I hope you guys have a great weekend with your family. Good luck with the Range Rover. Look for new GOWs coming your way. And thank you so much for your time.